Yo guys, it's Franks. Welcome back to another video. Today we're doing what if Deku had was the shield hero from Rising of the Shield Hero. Just for some backstory for it to make more sense. Deku was into fantasy mangas and books. He was also into gaming as well as heroes. So he just did all three of those things. So yeah, this is gonna take place after his fight with Bakugo, the second part. It's like a little bit after Deku and Bakugo get chewed out by All Might. Just a little bit after that. No, by Aizawa. So Deku went into his room and started playing some video games. Then he noticed that there was a game that he's never seen before on his counter. No, his desk. So he went up to pick it up. And just for a little bit more backstory, in Deku's years of gaming, if he had a choice to pick what weapon he could use, he would always pick the shield because he always wanted to protect people, and the shield was most efficient at that. He didn't always want to fight heroes. He wanted to save people, not fight villains. So the shield would always make most sense to him to choose. And okay, so back to the story. So Deku puts the game in his console and starts to play it. He plays for a little bit, and then he gets a bit sleepy and goes to bed. While he's sleeping, he's being transported to another world. Deku just appears. He's awake. He's like, what happened? And he sees three other guys, and they're all just like, what's happening? How did we get here? They see a priest and so they see a priest and like two other bishops standing by it, and the priest is like, "Oh, 4 cardinal heroes, please, our world is in grave danger. Please save us." The other 3 guys are like, send us back home. We don't have to do this. We don't gain anything from this. And the priest is like, "Oh, we will give you anything that you wish. You will get riches in all the bays. But if you want more information on what you can get, please go speak with the king." So they go and speak with the king. They just walk down the hall, and Deku's just thinking, what are these people doing? Why aren't they just volunteering to save people? While they were talking, Deku actually said that he will help them, but they just ignored him. Because of course they'll ignore him, because he's a shield hero. Deku notices an icon on the bottom corner of the screen. He's like, I'm gonna go check this out. So he focuses on it, and he sees his inventory, and he's just keeping this to himself just in case he has to fight any of the other people there. So Deku tries to activate One for All to see if he still has the quirk, and he does. So he's pumped for that because he knows that he'll be fine as long as he has his quirk with him. He wonders if the other people have quirks too. He's starting to make a plan because he has no idea where he is. So they walk to the king's room, or whatever, and the king asks for their name. There was one guy that had a one guy had a spear his name was Motoyasu. Another, the sword hero, his name was Ren. And Itsuki, the bow hero. And Deku was about to say what his name was and his age, but the king just ignored him. And Deku's just thinking, they really just don't like me. I think I should keep quiet and keep my abilities to myself, so maybe I can get an upper hand. The king tells the 4 cardinal heroes what's going on. Deku doesn't say anything. And they have that talk that they have in the anime. Then the 4 heroes go talk to each other. But Deku stays out of it because he wants to keep anything that he knows to himself, because he knows that there'll most likely be an issue. So he just waits for the next day. He has a low wattage of 1 for all activated at all times. Let's say like 1%, 1 to 2%. He doesn't sleep that night because he doesn't trust any of the people here, because he doesn't know anybody and nobody wants to speak to him, which means that there's a chance that they're plotting something against him. The others still find out that they're all from different universes and stuff. So the next day comes, and when the king orders the party members to choose someone to join someone, Deku still doesn't get any. And Deku's actually pretty excited by this, because that means that he'll have more chance to explore on his own, and he won't have to worry about someone else. Princess Bitch. She tries to join him still, but he's like, no, it's fine. I can do it. I can live on my own. But she keeps trying to join him. Deku figures that she's trying to join him for a reason, and it probably isn't good. So he just says, no, thank you. Please leave me alone and stay away from me. So they get their money and are told to level up to prepare for the waves. So Deku just walks out of the building, and he's just thinking, where should I go? What should I do? So he goes to an armor shop because he knows that he's eventually going to need some armor, and it's best to get it right away. He tries to get a sword or a different weapon, but it doesn't work, because as a shield hero, he's not allowed to wield any other weapons. So Deku just goes. He gets the small little bit of armor that now Fumi gets in the original show, and he just goes hunting monsters. Due to 1 for all, it will be much easier for him. He'll get up to level 10. He still stores all of the monster leftovers in his shield. He goes back to the blacksmith where he got all his armor from, and he just asks him for things that he needs, for if he can sell the stuff that he has and stuff like that. So he sells all of his monster droppings and gets a bunch of cash. Deku just chooses to hide this cash and goes off into the woods, so because he thinks that there's probably stronger monsters out in the dark than there is during the day. So instead of going to that inn, he just goes out in the woods camping. He unlocks some other shields, like the herb shield, because He wanted to see if he can make some fruits and vegetables for him to eat. Because he was hungry, and I don't think Deku would be fine with hunting animals. Well, he probably is, but like, he just doesn't want to do it. He doesn't sleep that night. He's just up leveling up. He's like, by the next day he's up to level 20. And he goes in to sell his monster droppings. And he's taken in by the royal guard. The royal guard throws him in front of the king. And the king says, "You are the worst of the worst. How could you? You have done the worst thing that anybody in this kingdom has done. That could have been done. You have raped someone. Nonetheless, my daughter, the princess. For this, you will be put into prison." But then everybody's just get mad at Izuku. He's just like, "Y'all don't even know me. I haven't said a word since I got here to anybody except that blacksmith. I haven't really even left the forest. I just sold some monster droppings and got some armor." That's all that he's thinking. And he's like, "Okay, you put me in the prison. How are you going to fight the waves without me? Who knows? You might need a shield to block you from an attack from above." And the king just mutters, "Damn, kid's right. Okay, you will not be set into prison, but you will not be able to. You will get half the cut the other members get from now on." And he's just like, "What?" It's whatever, because he realizes that he can make like a small profit off of selling monster droppings. So that's what he does. On the same day, he's pulled aside by the blacksmith, and he's like, How could you rape the princess?" And Deku's like, "Man, I haven't spoken to anybody except you and some guy that was taking my monster droppings. Do you really think I know who the hell that princess is? And I'm 14. No, he would be 15. I'm 15 years old. How does a 15-year-old boy rape somebody?" And the blacksmith is just like, "This kid is bringing up some good points. I believe in you. I believe that you didn't do it." So Deku just goes back into the woods, getting some more levels. He goes back into town to sell off his monster droppings, and when he's going back into the woods to set up camp, because he doesn't trust anybody in this town at this point, the slave man still comes after him. And Deku's just like, what does this man want? He still follows him to his tent. So Deku is just looking at all these beings, and he's just wondering, why is he doing this to them? There's no reason. Deku then starts to realize that some of these animals don't even have a mind of their own. They're just purely angry, like rabid beasts. And he sees some of them that are sane and are just sitting there, acting like mindless zombies, like slaves. Deku's like, so maybe I can free them. Maybe I can just kill the slave. Maybe if I just kill the slave trader, or just knock him out. There'll be enough time to free all of them. But then Deku thinks that the beasts, they'll just go on a rampage, killing maybe. So Deku's just kind of at a loss right now. So he thinks that he can free them all one by one. And as he's walking by, looking at all of the slaves that he can get, he sees a young little girl. He's like, what's wrong with her? She's coughing, and this man is just laughing and fine with it. What's wrong with these people? This civilization isn't even worth saving anymore. How could they just do this? Deku's just so upset. He chooses to take that young little girl because that's all the money that he has. He buys her. He tells the girl to follow him. He forces her to follow him into the woods, and then he tries to think of a way to remove the slave crest so she can be set free. No. Then he's like, no. I'll leave the slave crest on, and then she can be set free, because who wants to pay for the removal of a slave crest, if that's even possible? So Deku just goes to little girl and is like, little girl, you can go. I don't need you. I don't want you. You're useless. And the little girl's just like, huh? Why? What? Wait, hold up. What? She's just super confused. And Deku's like, I only bought you to let you go. And nobody's gonna want to remove your slave crest, so they won't be able to force you to do anything. So she's just like, what? Deku says, then she starts coughing. And she faints. Deku's like, maybe before I let her go, I should heal her up. Deku uses his herb shield to make some medicine for her. And he wakes her up so she can drink it. She drinks it and falls back asleep. The next day, he goes into town with what little money that he has and tries to find some potion that can heal her of her sickness. He finds one and he makes her drink it. He also finds a potion that heals all wounds. So he's thinking maybe he'll heal all his wounds, including the ones that he got from One For All. So he buys that as well, drinks it, and he's all healed up. Like, he has no more scars or anything like that. It's like he never got hurt with One For All at all. He's really happy right now. So he's just like, okay. First I save a girl, heal her to full health, and then I lose all the damage I got from One For All. That means I can probably use a high percentage more often now if I keep buying that potion. So, in this what if, he's actually gonna let Raftalia go. He tells no. Run that back. No, he's not gonna do that. Raftalia chooses to stay with him. He's like, okay, if you want to stay with me, you gotta learn how to fight. He gets her to start hunting some monsters and stuff, and gives her a sword that kind of looks like a dagger, but it's big in her hands because of her small body. So she chooses to stay with him, but Deku's just thinking, I can't keep this little girl with me. she might die and get hurt, and I can't have that on my hands. So he's just thinking, as soon as he finds a group of, like, a family of demi-humans, he'll leave. He'll take her and leave. Also, in this what if, Deku isn't going to get, it's gonna be different from others. And this is what I want, okay? Just saying. Y'all might not like it. So, Deku's just thinking, there's something wrong about Siltevelt. No. I mean, what do you call it again? Melon Yeah, Melon Deku's just thinking, something's off about Melon. This can't be the only place in the entire world, because that'd just be real strange. So Deku buys a map. Raftalia is still following him around. He buys her a ball so she can play with it and leave him alone a little bit. Deku figures out that there are a couple other kingdoms. And there's this one called Siltevelt that praises the shield hero. And he's just thinking, maybe I should go there. I should go there instead of staying here in Melmark. I'm just gonna think that blacksmith and go. And I'll take Raftalia with me, because that means she'll be able to find her family. Possibly. So, Deku buys an egg from the slave trader, because he knows that he won't be able to make it all the way there on foot. So he buys an egg, he gets a dragon, and rides it. He rides the dragon with Raftalia stopping for food now and then. And that's where we're gonna leave it off in this what if. See you guys. Peace.